Film Geeks? My name is Trevor. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about the brand new, very divisive MCU movie, Eternals. Join me down below in the comment section. What did you guys think of this movie? Did you like it? Did you not like it so much? I have some thoughts. I'm going to get into it. If this is your first video here, make sure to hit that red subscribe button down below for more rankings, trailer reactions, and movie reviews such as these. Come back tomorrow for a character tier ranking for the Eternals and an MCU ranking by the end of the weekend. I'm excited for all of it, but right now, we're talking Eternals. Let's do this. So, let's start off with some positives here. Chloe Zhao is the director of this movie, and it's shot beautifully. It's epic. It's grand. These scenes and these shot selections and cinematography, it sucks you in. It's beautiful. Cast in this movie is absolutely stacked, and they have very good chemistry. They all blend together with each other very well, and they all get shared screen time a lot throughout the film, which I really enjoyed seeing all these kind of almost big star power at this point all together, meshing really well on screen. The action is great. The cast is great. So why is this movie underwhelming? While I enjoyed certain parts of it, there were several points of the movie where I just felt underwhelmed or I felt kind of confused. And when I left the movie and the credits started to roll, I couldn't really help but think, is that it? Is that all we're going to get from this movie? Because there's so much jammed into this movie. There's so much story. And there's like not enough punch with that story. I mean, it's explaining so much of the history of the Eternals, which is interesting. But for a 2.5-hour movie, I want to get to know our characters a little bit. And it feels like Cersei would be the main character. And I feel like we don't really know her. The one character I felt like we got to know the most was Phastos, one of my favorite characters in the movie, played by Brian Tyree Henry. And he was barely in the movie. He was in it towards the latter half, but the beginning of the movie, he was barely in it, and I felt we knew his character the best. There was so much going around, it was honestly distracting, and I feel I need to go watch this movie again and again right after that just to capture everything that went on, because they have so much history about the Eternals, because I didn't know who the Eternals were before watching this movie. I honestly just still don't really know exactly who they were. There was so much story and everything jam-packed in this movie, I just couldn't really focus on exactly where we were trying to go. And it felt really plotless. Like, who is the main villain? What's the main objective of this? Are we trying to fight the Deviants? Or are we trying to do something more? It's very hard to not dive into spoilers and but there's so much to dive into with this film. I feel like I couldn't take it all away with one watch, and maybe upon rewatch, I will enjoy it more. I've heard lots of people have enjoyed it more because there's so much jam-packed. Maybe I'll understand it more. I sound like I hated it, which I really didn't. I enjoyed certain things of it, but other things I just really didn't. Certain scenes felt like they dragged on forever. Some scenes were going on for 10-15 minutes where I felt like they could have just been cut down or cut from the movie in general because I felt like it didn't really progress the plot all that well. And with this plotless movie, we just didn't get to know our characters as well as I wanted to. So when there's different plot twists of characters or one character gets in danger, you don't really feel attached to them, so you can't really sympathize with them for exactly how they're feeling because we just don't really know them. There's so much happening with the story about them, we don't really know anything about them. That was just a big complaint I had, and throughout the movie, I laughed, I had some fun. Kamal Nanjiani's character is very funny. He has those one-liners throughout the film. He has a guy following around with a camera, and it makes for a very funny character, and a character of Icarus, played by Richard Madden, is very big and badass, and you want to like these characters, you just don't have enough to really attach to them. Minus Brian Tyree Henry, he has a family, he has a child, he's kind of lived his life as a human, though he's not, so we got to know something about him, we got to relate to him. And again, he was barely in the movie. The action is big, the whole cinematography and filmmaking aspect of the film is big and done really well. It's just the story is kind of a mess. It goes back and forth so many different times with time jumps, and there's so much crammed in this 2.5 hours. I felt really overwhelmed, and I couldn't help but feel just disappointed by Eternals. I sound like I'm hating on it. That's kind of my thoughts on it. I don't think it's the worst MCU movie. It's far from the best. I would say it is down in a lower tier, but stick around for an MCU ranking coming out in a couple days. Before I give you guys my score, hit the thumbs up button for me. It's probably going to be a divisive video. Eternals is big. It's grand. It really does a great job of capturing me with the cinematography and shot selection, but there's just too much story jammed into this. There's not enough punch, and I wanted to know our characters a lot more. I didn't hate the movie. I did enjoy lots of things through it. I need to give it a rewatch as soon as possible. For my score, I am going to go a 3 out of 5, a 60%, a little bit better than it's doing on Rotten Tomatoes, but I just didn't really love this movie the way I wanted to, and I couldn't help but feel underwhelmed and extremely disappointed. Let me know your guys' take on it down below in the comment section. Are you with me or are you completely different? I'd love to talk about it with you guys down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. An Eternals character ranking coming in a couple of days, and an MCU ranking with Eternals coming in a couple of days as well. I'm excited for all of it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time.